in Atlanta. So instead of working early and then going home and having downtime, I just shifted my day back.
Well, hello, String.
When were you going to tell me?
I'll take
When were you going to tell me?
when I got here.
If you commit, you got to commit. Hey, Demetrius. I don't want to hear anything about how hard real estate is. These are the things you prayed for. We're going to take it and we're going to move on and we're going to get to the table. Tables. When you got multiple clients. 64% of agents didn't do anything this year. So we're going to take it we're going to take a run with it.
That's okay. We'll leave it. I got to talk to my assistant.
Lord, Ken, it's the ADHD. That's what happens every time. I think what we need to do is all come in. Ken, can you, what? I know your computer's charged. Are you working?
Okay. And
Are you working? Working, like working your job? Great. We're all come in. You want to come over here? Agents are here. Well, we're used to like no seats open, like.
it's okay, they're gonna be about 15 minutes late.
Okay, that bothers Bree. Everybody walking in late.
We start here and we're zoned in, and the next time I look around, they got one more.
But there's like 15 people here. Like, you're like, where did they come from? See, this is why. Oh, is it 11?
Yeah. I heard he was hurt a little bit. Yeah, better, much better.
Can we close that door?
Oh, care for kids.
Oh, yeah. So she had to announce it. She had to announce it.
That's true. Let me move quick. All right, guys. Well, the great thing is that Octavia's here. All right, so welcome to Keller Williams Premier Team Meeting.
Know that the roof is.
No, you would never know. She's enough for 50. Like, we're good. Love that. Cares for kids. We all know what that means. All right. We donating. Ready? 1, 2, 3. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. Napoleon Hill. Have you guys ever read anything with Napoleon Hill? Any history?
Yeah.
Yep. What is this? Does this resonate with anyone? No one's ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it.
Henry Ford's comment, if you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
That's right. Love that. Love that. Yep.
Reminds me of the bold law, where belief lives, fear leaves.
Great job. Love that. Where belief lives, fear cannot. Love that.
You believe it, you think it, you can do it.
Agree. Had a conversation with Alex the other night, and it was either you're hot or cold. And I don't have to go into what that means, but I brought him back to that quote. Right? Ken, what does this mean to you?
What's that?
What? Yeah.
That's an old way of saying stuff that's universal.
Agree. Yeah. No one is ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. Sometimes it takes a lot. Sometimes it takes a whole tribe to help us believe that we can do it. And sometimes it takes me telling you guys over and over and over, just do the work, just do the thing, just go do it, just go do it. You just got to do it before you actually do it. Or it'll push you to something else. One of the two, but we're going to have a choice to make, right? This is one of the best ones I think we've ever put up here. Good job, Sheena. O'Kelly, we all know who O'Kelly is? Yes. All right. Dave Martin. We we're going into a time where mortgages, we're gonna have a lot of questions around mortgages, right? So even though we have a lender in place, O'Kelly's going to be a source, and I've talked to him about this already because Fannie Mae just dropped the guideline of the credit score. Don't get excited because you're going to have overlays from your lender, right? So let's understand that. But also that 50-year mortgage is rolling back around. I think it's really important that we understand what that can create, both positively and negatively, right? So that we'll be prepared to talk to our clients, right? It does open the door to home ownership, right? With DTI requirements and all these things. However, knowing what your client needs to do in the next 20 years is also important, because if they want to pay that mortgage off in 20 years and never refi, you might not want to put them in that situation. What I'm saying is if they want to pay every payment on time, they're not going to have like a balloon payment, all those things, or money to make those payments in full in 20 years. But that's definitely a conversation for your lender and you, right? So don't get fuzzled when you start seeing those group coachings on Facebook. They're like, hey, Fannie Mae just dropped the requirement for credit. And everybody's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get my 450s. We buying a house today. You may not be, right? Can we agree to that? Or we all know that lenders have overlays? Okay. All right, 6 strategies to power through. It's not about the market, it's about what you do. We can stop right there. We can just move on. Like, that's enough. It's about what you do. And I think that we can see it. I will brag on Harper a little bit. Harper's been lead genning with us, a little more accountable, if I can say. And then she walked in my office and there's like, I got 3 appointments. Bree called me Saturday and I missed her call. And then yesterday she told me, hey, went to the open house, did the work, I got 3 appointments. Yeah, she added 6 to her database and she got 3 appointments. So 50-50 conversion. Job well done, right? Yeah. You can't control the market, right? So this is your shift. You can't control the market. You can only control what you do. You can control your outlook and your response to the market, which is what Ken's been preaching about when we're taking market share, right? The market doesn't determine your success. It simply determines your strategy. Does that make sense? You have to shift with the market. There's business in every market. There's opportunity in every market. Get real, get right. We know that. I always say that, right? Get real with yourself, get right. It's mindset and action. Remargin your business. Expense management. You can do more with less. That's leverage, right? Find the motivated. Gonna lead gen. Sorry to have to tell you, gotta do that. And then get it to the table. Lead conversion and follow up. Gotta track your numbers. Help buyers and sellers adjust. Reset expectations, which is why I was talking about that 50-year mortgage, because we have to know the guidelines to be able to tell people what to do and how to do it, because we're the expert, right? The law of equilibrium. We talk about this all the time, whether you guys know it or not. The available income in a market determines the number of agents in that market. I'm talking about this because as the market begins to shift and we come out of this recession, whether it's 26 or 27, right, we're going to begin to see this. Income increases, and what increases? Agent count. Income decreases, right? So as we're in a shift in market, you have opportunity to gain that market share. We keep preaching on market share. There's opportunity in this market, okay? When we're saying track your numbers, if you need to take a picture of this, we're not gonna go over all this, but this is what I'm always telling you. Know your numbers. Ken talks about this all the time. Total active listings, new pendings, under contract, total closings, total showings and averages. These are the things you have to know to determine your pricing. You get this in your email too. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. We can talk about shift all day because I love shift and I love the tactics and it's really changed my business. But these are the things you need to know as we're going and coming in these different markets, if that makes sense. Homes.com is our lunch sponsor today. I love Homes.com. A lot of our agents joined Homes.com. I joined under peer pressure with Ken at Family Reunion one year. He was like, I'm gonna go do it. We gotta go do it. We need to go do it. I was like, okay, I'm gonna do it too. Yeah, that's true. Ken got up in the middle of it. I was like, I'm gonna go do it. And I was like, well, dang, I guess I'm gonna get it. So literally I felt like I had to do it. So I was like, if Ken's doing it, I'm like, it's gotta be a great thing. So I'm gonna do it too. So I did it. I didn't even worry about my budget. I just thought, okay, we'll just do it. We'll eat it. So they're here. It has been really good for us. We do actually get leads from Homes.com. It's based on the number of listings you have and all those things. But Are you ready, Ashley? Ashley's here. She lives in Lawrenceville. We're happy to have her and not virtual. I'm gonna give you this so that the online can hear.
Okay, perfect.
You want that? Thank you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you guys for letting me come in. I do have food, so if anybody is online and comes in, there's going to be food here. Yeah, so I am local. I'm your local rep. I know you guys get calls and emails all the time from people. Yes, I am here locally. You can reach out to me. The email is aedwards2@homes.com, so definitely reach out to me, cell phone. I also gave everybody a card in here. If you have any questions, if you have any like service issues, whatever, I'm around 24/7. The people that are like calling and emailing you, we work in tandem together, but they're in Richmond and they have like set hours. Okay. So if it's outside of their regular hours, but like, you know, everybody here works all the time, just ping me, let me know. I'm more than happy to help. So I really just want to go over some of the key points with homes.com since all the kind of like new releases of the website. To give you some background on me, I have been with CoStar Group since 2014. I took a little bit of a hiatus, came back in July after a couple of years, but I was on the apartments.com team when they did the exact same thing as what's going on with homes.com. So very familiar with like the pace, what we're looking to do. Very agent focused is kind of what we're doing at homes.com. Couple key points here in how homes.com is different is we are not lead generation. You will get leads organically, but we are not lead generation, and we will never sell a zip code so that if it is, like it says here, your listing, your lead, if it is your listing, the only time that I will ever see anyone other than you and your information would be if I am your buyer and we have connected on homes.com, then I see your information. Okay. It's the only time that your information would not be on your listing. Okay, for a consumer to see. The reason for that is you guys deserve all the credit. And if I'm a consumer, I should be reaching out to you and you only, unless I have a buyer's agent. Okay. You're going to see a lot of numbers come out from Zillow, Realtor, Homes. Just know that as everyone's telling you how many monthly visitors are coming in, they do include all of these sites under the umbrella. Okay. What that means for homes.com is us and apartments.com. So a couple things with that is that if you are a member and are paying for that membership, you do get syndicated for rentals on apartments.com. If you have land pieces that are for sale, they will go to land.com as long as it's over 1 acre. Okay. Now, I am going to preface, do not go searching on apartments.com and land.com and thinking you're going to be at the very top of a search result. It's not going to happen. They have their own thing, like not memberships, but pay for play essentially, and packages, but it will be on there for consumers to find. Okay. Obviously, you guys have probably seen the $1 billion that we've kind of put into marketing. Okay. It's not going anywhere. We did it with homes.com. You still see Jeff Goldblum everywhere. You will continue to see Dan Levy and I think it's Katie. I can't remember her name. SNL. It's not going anywhere, but we are also doing SEO, SEM, retargeting. We are doing a lot of the back end pieces on a national scale and on a very large scale so that you all don't have to. You can continue doing what you're doing. Okay. So with a membership, there's a couple different pieces that really kind of elevate you and Keller Williams as being the experts in the area. The first piece is as consumers are on homes.com and they're like filtering out what they want to look for, where they want to be, things like that. On the search results over here on the carousel, as a paid member, you come up to the top. If you are a paid member and you have the Matterport on, you come up even farther. Okay. And we'll touch on that in a second. But so that is one piece. On the agent directory, do any of you guys use the agent directory to look up who you're working with? Anything like that? Okay. Yes. So a lot of people use this, myself included. When we moved from Arizona a year and a half ago, I had to fire my realtor because if any of you are familiar with like Arizona, Phoenix area, I had a realtor that was great, social media. She was awesome. She did investment deals in Scottsdale. I lived in like Chandler in a family home. Two very different types of sales and two very different like areas. So I fired her. I went to agent directory. I put in my zip code and I went and found agents that had multiple listings and sales in that area. And I talked to 4 of them off of homes.com and I hired one and she sold my house in 40 days after like being on the market for like 65. So this is a very good tool as a consumer. My husband's a mortgage broker. He uses it to see who's on the other side of the deal as their like working deals, right? So use it to your advantage. Also go and claim your free profile. Every single person has one. Go claim it, update your photo, put your little blurb in, add all your links to all your social media. Make sure all the transaction information is like correct in there. If it's not, let me know, please. It'll show 1, 2, and 5-year history on there. It's not going to show off market sales. The reason we do that is because if we allow that, then we have to kind of do for sale by owner also, and we're not going to do that. Okay. But yes, great tool. Use it. It's free. You don't have to like not worry about that right now. The other piece of this is that as consumers are moving, right, most families are looking for a specific school zone. They're looking for specific neighborhoods. Your agent profile and like your name and Keller Williams will show up in any neighborhood or school zone that you have had at least one transaction in for now. So it'll show that you're an expert in that area, even if you only have one. I know it's a little testy with like, agents like, that's only one transaction, but yes, for right now, that's where it's at, okay? We do handle retargeting for you, like I mentioned. So if someone goes and searches on homes.com, you show up in the carousel or they click on your listing or in your agent directory, right, on your profile, we will follow them, okay? We'll follow them to, I think it's like 30,000 different sites right now, okay? Matterport, we own Matterport. Does everybody know what a Matterport is, like the virtual tours? Okay. So we own them. So as a member on every single listing, you get a free Matterport as long as it's like within the area. And you will know on your dashboard, it'll say, schedule your Matterport. If it doesn't have that, reach out and let me know. And we can see if it's just, we don't have somebody in the area or whatever that is, but we have Matterport certified professionals that we send out to you all. Okay. You can also do it pre-MLS. So, go ahead.
Have super access, or how are they getting into the properties?
Whatever you, yes.
And they'll call you if you don't schedule it. They'll say,
Yeah.
why are you an idiot and you don't have it?
Yeah. I saw Super Access come over the other day in a question online, and I can't remember. I think if you give us access, like if it's vacant, we can go do it. You don't have to be there. Yes. So. The next piece of this, well, one of the things that just came out with this is now as a consumer, I can remove the furniture so I can see what it looks like vacant and not with like their furniture or staging, which is great. The next piece is going to be, it's a splat, which is basically the outside, right? So I can see the boundary of the house. I can see where my neighbors are at. I can see if there's a fence, what the landscaping looks like, all that kind of stuff, which is awesome. So we do have digital listing presentations in the back end, very easy to use and like send off, or, you know, send to potential buyers or sellers. You have listing analytics on every single one of your listings. This is really good to send to your sellers, right?
Is this for the paid version or for the?
Yes, for the paid version. Yep. Yeah, and it gives you kind of like what's going on in the area, what's going on with similar homes, how many views you've gotten, what are some of the retargeting that we've done, like where have we gone. This is a huge piece right here. And I think a lot of people miss this, and this is for like you guys, not necessarily your sellers, but if you have to have that conversation of, hey, we're going to need to lower your like the price, this is really good to help. But then this gives you like a call list also, because you can see other agents and how many times they have viewed that particular listing, right? And then you can call that agent and have that conversation. It's right here. It's at the very bottom. Yeah, it's on your listing. Yep. Yeah. And usually their contact information is in there also. Yep. So this is a really good tool. Correct. 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 Yeah. So it's a really good like backwards call list also. Okay. So as kind of a recap, the membership has, you know, you go to the top on the search results, your agent directory, all the retargeting. You can use contact targeting in here as well. You guys can upload your contacts in here if you want and put them in all the little lists you want. You can send them listings you have. You can just stay in front of them. We also then retarget them as well. Okay. Matterports are included and just all the additional exposure kind of everywhere. Okay. It's a very quick overview. Do you guys have any questions?
Any questions?
Okay.
So I guess anything online, any questions for anyone online? Because my question is going to be, how much is this now?
Yes. So it's different for each agent. Okay. There are 6 and 12 month options. If you have questions on on pricing, scan the QR code and we can like set up some time with either myself or like your individual actual like representative. You can also text me, call me, email me, whatever. You can do it that way as well. It is based on your production and kind of your median average sales price. I would say on average, I see $200 to $300 a month, and that is dependent on like 6 or 12 months. Okay, but that'll give you a kind of a rough range.
Yeah, I appreciate that. That was very informative.
Yeah, you're welcome. I forgot.
I was like, back to me already? That's great. Oh, I was so excited about that. So Ken's we're doing something a little different. So I'm gonna invite Ken up. We all know who Ken Harper is, don't we? Great.
You need to wear the mic?
Yeah, I do want you to wear a mic so everybody online can hear.
Test 1, 2. I want everyone to grab a piece of paper because this is an interactive stats class. So just pass these around to whoever. Let y'all do whatever. Here's one right here, man. All right. So I do not have my stats board because it looks like the stats board, but I will give you the stats. Looks a lot the same as the last 2.5 years, man. Right now we're at about 4.9, 4.3 months of supply overall. However, if you take out homes below 300,000 and you just look at the market from 300,000 and up, Rockdale County is at 6.7. It's around 6.7. And Newton is slightly higher than that, or more around 7.5. That would be a seller's market above 300. Sorry, buyer's market above 300. No one called me out on that? What is wrong with you guys? No. Yeah, it's definitely a buyer's market. And if you get up into the $500,000, $600,000, $700,000 range, the one thing that looking at the numbers did for me today is normally when I'm doing these searches, if you do a search on MLS, you have to be careful if you're bracketing things, because if you bracket from 300 to 350 and it says you have 6, and then you go from 350 to 400 and it says you have 4, you think you have 10 between 300 and 400, but the ones that are at 350 count twice, right? So I always look at that and make sure I account for that. And normally it's not a big deal because there's not that many. If you want evidence of seller's capitulation, they are dropping down and you will see people on these benchmarks because they don't want to come down, but their agents convince them they have to come down. And they say, you really ought to be at 325. And they're like, well, how about 350? And the agent's like, whatever, man. And so when I was looking specifically in Newton this time, when I hit 400 to 450, like at that 400 mark, there was like 6 houses listed right at 400. And then there was another 4 or 5 at 450. And there was another 5 or 6. And it's like, guys, the sellers are not willing to understand that the buyers are not there at all. And so in those price ranges, you're looking more like 9 to 15 months of supply, because all these guys that should be listed at 450 are stacking up at 550 and won't move. And so you end up with these numbers where there's been 2 sales and there's 17 for sale. And it's like 2 sales in 3 months and there's 17 for sale. That is not, it's not going to work. Now, the other interesting thing is you're actually starting to see sales at the higher price points, but it's one here, one there, one over there, right? And what that tells you is there's 1 or 2 buyers that's desperate to find luxury quality, and they've got 50 to choose from, and they're just biding their time and picking their number. Now, a lot of times you're not seeing price reductions on the ones that sell. It's just the first one that comes on the market that's priced right's gone, right? So keep that in mind. Now, that's the overview. You didn't need a big spreadsheet to know that, right? Okay, so Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to start giving you numbers, and you need to write these numbers on your page. The first number is 50,000. If you're sitting at home, I want you to write on a sheet of paper 50,000. I'm hoping that we have multiples of agents listening to this because this is gold, Jerry. Absolute gold. Does anybody know that reference? It's gold, Jerry. It's gold. What's that from? Thank you. Good call. That's a Seinfeld reference. That's Seinfeld. What is 50,000? Someone tell me.
What's $50,000, guys?
Half of-
100,000.
It's half 100. That's true. It's also the amount of GCI you need to do what here? Thank you. $50,000 in gross commission income means you are a capper on a 70-30 split. Done. Okay. The second number you need to know is 5. Somebody tell me what 5 represents. Based on an average sales price in Covington and Newton County of $330 with a 3% commission, 5 closings essentially makes you a capper. Somehow you're going to have to figure out how to get that extra $38, but whatever. You're a capper. I wasn't going to say 6 because it's really 5. You just need to have one friend that can afford $350, right? Okay. So you need 5. Does that seem like a lot? It doesn't seem like a lot. So let's keep going with our numbers. What's another number that we can come up with? 25. Someone tell me what the number 25 may mean. Someone who happened to be at Business Planning Clinic a couple of weeks ago. What is 25?
Not, the amount of transactions you need to have to gross 100,000.
Nope, but good try. You're on the right track, sorta. 25 is the number of appointments that you can expect from a database of 500 people. Now, there are some caveats to that number.
Oh, now 25 appointments from a how many database?
500. Yeah. Now I'm going to give you some extra numbers that breaks that down. 15 of those appointments are from people that are out of that 500 database. And 10 of those appointments are referrals from people that are in that database. But there's a big caveat to this number. What's that? I heard somebody. Oh, okay. No worries. No worries. There's a caveat to that number because it's not just people in your database. It's people in your database that you communicate with regularly about your business. So let's brainstorm about what regularly looks like. I can't say regularly today. On the regular. It's that extra L's throw me. Phone call once a quarter, that's 4. Right? Somebody use your calculator if you can't add. I would say texting once a quarter, that's 4 more. We're up to 8. I would say that you need to be sending some sort of email or other communication at least twice a month. So that's 24 more. What would that be? Maybe that, yes, it would be 32, but what would those touches be? It could be a market update. It could be a newsletter. It could be invitation to an event. But every couple of weeks, every couple of weeks, you're sending some sort of email communication, even if it's just, hey, I was thinking about you. But it's like, let's think in terms of, you want it to be about business, so it needs to be informative. It doesn't need to be, hey, set your clocks back, right? No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something that's functional for them. Maybe it's an article that you've read and like, hey, I just saw this article and I thought you should see it about what's happening in the economy and how it relates to real estate. It could be anything, but a couple of times a month, you're going to touch them. That's 32. And then let's just say, I don't know, let's just round it up to 36 because I don't know, is there something called a 36 touch program? 4 more touches of something, right? That can be a coffee. It can be an event. You can do a pie giveaway. My Bible study folks, they're very good about calling. Getting a group of old men for a Bible study, and they'll be texting, hey, make sure you're there at 7 tonight. They're on you. So 36 touches. So that 25 number out of 500, right? It requires you to do things. Okay, so now let's back that down. The next number that you need is 100. Where did I come up with that number, guys? 100. No. A database of 500 gives you 25 appointments. A database of 100 should give you, do the math, 5 appointments if you communicate with them regularly about your business. Okay. So we're going to get a little deeper. You ready to go to the next level? You got your pens ready? The next number is 240. That number's going to throw you. You're like, where in the heck is he going with 240? Okay. Has anyone looked at the 48-week work schedule? Does anyone know what that's based on? 12-week quarters, right? Now, if you're working 48 weeks a year, how many weeks off does that mean? How many of you guys would like 4 vacation weeks this year? Okay. So we only really have to work 48 weeks. Someone multiply 48 times 5. Tell me which number you get. So 240 is the number of work days that you have in 2026. If you work a 48-week schedule, which is 12 weeks a quarter, which gives you a vacation every quarter. Okay?
That doesn't seem like a whole lot.
It's not really a whole lot, right? It doesn't seem like you got a lot of time, does it? It's only 240 days. Okay. Somebody write down 2. Now I jumped a step. Can anyone tell me what 2 is? That's a good guess, but that's not what I'm looking for. We're going even more basic than that. So if you have 240 work days in a year, how many quarters are in a year? So divide 240 by 4, and what do you get? You get 60 work days a quarter. How many people are in your database? 100, right? If we're doing 5 appointments, we're trying to cap here. So if I take 100 and I divide it by 60 work days, how many people do I need to call each day? How many of you guys, by show of hands, are incapable of calling 2 unique different peoples every day for a quarter? Anyone that does not have 100 people in your database can raise your hand. Anybody that doesn't have 100 people in their lives that they know that should be in their database could raise their hand, right? So 2 is the number of calls you have to make a day. 2 is also the number of texts you need to make in a day. Now, we've got 100 people, and we're going to send them 2 emails a month. That's 6 emails, so that's 600 emails. Would someone like to divide 600 by 60 days? What do you get? How many? You get 10. 10 emails a day. Who cannot have 2 phone calls, 2 texts, and 10 emails a day? If I told you I want you to make 2 phone calls, send 2 texts, and have 10 emails a day, and I'll guarantee you'll get 5 appointments next year, who would take that deal? I just told you. So I'm going to hold you to that deal. You took it? Got it? Now, if I have 5 appointments, do you think that I'm going to get 5 closings? Me? You think me? Maybe. It'd be close. I might. I want you to think, are you capable with your skills and the knowledge you have of the market and the listing presentation that you don't have and the buyer's presentation that you don't have and the skills about pricing your homes that you may or may not have? Do you have the skills necessary to close 5 appointments 5 for 5. So if your job is to, if you want to say, I want to be a capper next year, and you have 100 people in your database, I'm not here to tell you that you should do the bare minimum. What I'm telling you is you're being told lead gen for 3 hours a day. You're being told talk to 20 new people a day. Bold tells you you need to add 100 people to your database every week. And I'm telling you, we try to make this more complicated than it needs to be. If your goal is to cap, then what I would tell you is put 200 people in your database, make 4 calls a day, send 4 texts a day, email 20 people a day, and spend the other 6 hours of your workday practicing your scripts, figuring out what a listing presentation is for you, going and doing showings and going and doing previews and seeing what the market has to offer for buyers and sellers. And if you do that, I guarantee you, you won't just cap. If you did just those things, that's the pathway to 100,000 in GCI, not 50. Does that make sense? Any questions? Somebody push back on me. Go ahead. Okay. Do you have a phone? Okay. Let me, I will answer your question by asking my poor daughter a series of questions. Shannon, how many people are in your database from before that's actually physically in Brivity right now? We had 32 people. Something like that. How many of those people live in Nashville?
Let's say 10.
How many people live in Georgia, like in Covington Conyers, that were in your database? 5. So Shannon doesn't have a database, but she has 3 appointments. So where does Shannon get her appointments? Let's see. Shannon, when you first came to Covington, the first thing you did was hooked up with a bunch of weirdos and did what? D&D. Have you already closed one from your D&D group? Did you also have another appointment from that same D&D group? Okay, so that's 2 appointments from 4 people. Okay. What have you done this year that's the one spectacular thing that you did that you didn't know that you could do and you've done it? You've read how many books? You've read 60 books this year. How many book clubs are you in now?
2 4 months.
Okay. How many of your people that you've met at book club have said, I want to buy a home next year? 3 from book club. You moved into an apartment by yourself. You don't really talk to people very much because you come back and forth to the car for the most part. How many of your neighbors have you met? How many of them want to buy a home in the next year or so? Really? I thought you had someone that was interested.
Oh, are you talking about Tatiana?
I'm talking about, you tell me. You said you had a roommate, you had a person.
Leasing agents.
Oh, well, there you go. Okay. Not even a neighbor. Yeah. So last week from your book club, someone from your book club invited you to do something. What did they invite you to do? Where? In some bar in Atlanta. And what'd you do? And did you win?
Yeah.
Of course you did. Shannon, if you ever need to win trivia, Shannon never loses. I don't know why. She brings good luck. How many of those people know that you're a real estate agent? How?
Told all of them that I was in real estate.
Okay. So when you tell me you don't have 100 people, find what you do. If I got on stage at family reunion and said, hey, the key to launching a successful new business real estate career is to go to book clubs and D&D groups, how many of you think that I'd get laughed off the stage? Yes, I'd be laughed off the stage. Shannon has struggled with how to do the things because she's like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to. Well, what do you want to do? Well, then go do those things and just meet people. Go do what you want to do and meet people. But everything has to be intentional, right? Shannon has gotten a lot of encouragement from the fact that she's people holding their hands up and saying, oh, I'm interested. But it's still a challenge for me to say, did you get their information? Well, no, but they know I'm an agent. That's not the same thing as putting them in your database, right? And then I get pushback from my wife. She's like, you can't just tell her to do that. You can't just berate your friends, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I got that. But if they're your friends, then they're pretty okay if you call them on the phone, right? Get their contact info. That's the starting place. What's the other thing I told you about these events to help you with that? What I tell you you need to work on before you meet people. Told you that you need to have an elevator speech.
Oh,
Yeah, you see, there's that. Yeah, whatever, Dad. Elevator speech. What's the elevator speech? How many of you guys have ever met someone new and you're like, so what do you do? And then they ramble on and on for 30 minutes about stuff that you don't really care about. You know what we sound like when we meet people for the first time when we don't have a script? We sound like that guy. Oh, I'm in real estate and it's great and it's like a family. They don't care about all that. You know what? What did I tell you? What did I ask you? Why are you in real estate? You're my guinea pig. I'm sorry. Why are you in real estate? Why did you want to be in real estate? What do you hope to achieve?
To be supportive and educate people my age in that like Gen Z millennial bubble who
Yeah.
are told that they will never be able to buy a house and have been fear mongered into thinking that they'll never be able to accomplish anything in their lives.
That's right. Right? Yeah. So I told her, it sounds to me like your elevator speech is, hey, I got into real estate because I got a lot of friends that just don't think that they can buy a home. And I know that's not true. And so it's my passion to help educate them to show them that they actually can have a house and they can achieve the American dream. Now, does that sound better than, oh, I'm an agent? Whatever it is, whatever your big why is, even if it seems like a little why, figure out what it sounds like. ChatGPT that sucker. Don't, whatever. Crib it. It doesn't matter. Do y'all know what crib means? Cribbing is when you like copy off somebody's paper. You're cribbing their notes. Crib that ChatGPT. Sorry, that was an old man thing. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah. I'm sure there's some Gen Z alternative to that word. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Rick. Right there. That's it. That's it. It's not cheating, guys. That's a tool. That's right. In school, it's cheating. When you're in the real world, that's called a tool. My point is that practice the script, right? When you meet somebody, hey, what do you do? Oh, I'm a real estate agent. Oh, that's pretty cool. Tell me something about the market. Better have something to tell them about the market, right? And it doesn't need to be some ramble on thing. Like, think about what you would say and then practice it. That's what a script is, right?
People don't realize that the market's shifting, guys. They think it's terrible.
They do. Like buyers think that it's terrible. Yeah.
Off of having that conversation, just having the conversation.
Just rando. Yeah. She's just practicing. She got a lead practicing. Because you know the difference between practice and the real world is, right? Who you're talking to. That's all it is. But if you're talking to someone, it's better to practice on your agent than practice on your client. Practice on your friend at the office, not because a friend at wherever, potential client, right? There you go. Any questions? How was that, by the way? There you go.
I love this group. So to my team, to my mic drop, to my team, my work team, not my real estate team, to my team, when I come in, I say, how many work days are there in this month? This is why, because I work backwards to figure out the number of hours I need to make sure I'm having the conversations with the people I need to have them. That's why. So it's not like why is she out every month? We gotta know how many days in the month. Well, we all need to know how many days we're working. So if there's 31 days, are we actually working 31 days? The answer is always no. Right? Then we need to account for the holidays, if we're going on vacation, whatever it is. And then we got to go from there, right, with our business plan. So that's why. So it's well explained, I think. So thank you, Ken. Any questions though, really? Like any questions? Because this is a simple, because what I hear is when I talk to people, like I'm overwhelming them because you guys come in with this astronomical amount of money that you guys want to make a year. So I'm gonna give you an astronomical number of hours you got to work to make that happen. So Ken just brought it back to capping, right? All right, so we've kicked off something new in our market center And it's super exciting. And I'm really proud of the number of people that are showing up to this group. I mean, it's been great. So we're gonna have a quick message from our productivity coach and my tech guys. welcome
Hey
to the front with
everyone,
some
it's your
song.
productivity
Okay.
coach, Tawny Richards. I wanted
Okay.
to take a minute to share why we're shifting.
What we doing? What you need? We're gonna halt for just a second. So quick message from our productivity coach here. When Princeton tells me to go. Okay.
This is sounds. Okay, please. Sorry.
Let's see.
My sound is up.
Hey everyone, it's your productivity coach, Tawny Richards.
Yeah.
I wanted to take a minute to share why we're shifting into group coaching and how it's going to help you grow faster in your business. One-on-one coaching is very powerful, but the truth is, growth happens even faster when you surround yourself with others who are chasing the same goals. Group coaching gives you a community to brainstorm with, share wins, ask questions, and hold each other accountable. It's a space where you'll realize you're not alone. Everyone is facing similar challenges in this. Hey everyone, it's your productivity coach, Tawny Richards. I wanted to take a minute to share why we're shifting into group coaching and how it's going to help you grow faster in your business. One-on-one coaching is very powerful, but the truth is, growth happens even faster when you surround yourself with others who are chasing the same goals. Group coaching gives you a community to brainstorm with, share wins, ask questions, and hold each other accountable. It's a space where you'll realize you're not alone. Everyone is facing similar challenges in this shifting market, and together we can find the solutions. This isn't about training, it's about building confidence, consistency, and connection. When you show up and participate, you'll gain more than just skills. You'll gain momentum. I can't wait to see what we build together in group coaching.
You have to show up. I believe we're going to show up. I'm going to tell you 10, but you really need to show up probably at 9. I need to tell you guys 9, right? To make sure you're there. Because I know y'all. Not this year. That is going to be in my game plan for next year is that we have a float. Oh,
Possibly, depending on the
Okay.
amount of people that show.
that's
up,
true.
you would like to float without
Yeah.
getting the amount.
I think it would be great if we can get it together and do it. So she's definitely out there and she's up for it. We got to have the participation to make that happen. So it would be really good. But see, Demetrius, if you guys want to sign up, it is really good. You are in front of a lot of people. You will have more conversations. My first Christmas parade, I picked up 7 not referrals, but contacts. I think we closed 4 out of that 7. So it was good. But I was very intentional, right? You guys don't have to do that. It can just be there to be a part of the community, make sure that you're kind of being relevant, right? All right, family reunion's here. It's almost February. I feel like we're there. 21st through the 24th in Atlanta. If you don't have your tickets, go online to see what you can get.
Real quick about that. If you're in any of the KW communities, YP Atlanta and Atlanta South are partnering together to put on courtside conversations. It's open to all of communities.
Okay.
So luxury, land, all military, all of it.
That's great.
And that's going to be like, we're expecting some like big hitters to be there. So if you want to come to an awesome networking event, tickets, I believe, will almost live for that or are live for that. I'll have to double check it. But if you're interested, let me know. I'll give you more information on that.
We will have another announcement from YP for next week about Quantum Leap. So I'm pulling that in. That is one of the best things that everyone can do. Children, I mean, from whatever age range to whatever, if you can get in there and do it, you need to do it. Quantum Leap is amazing. It's so good. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. It is. Quantum Leap is great. So we'll have the information on that for next week. Supreme Lending, there's a lunch and learn coming up.
First, that'll be our last day really in the office because the following week is the holiday, Thanksgiving.
That's true.
So
That's true.
that'll be our last hurrah with you guys. So come on out and have lunch with us. There is an RSVP link. Sign up so that we can have accurate head count for lunch.
Mhm.
Found that?
And we want to eat. We want to eat. So my understanding is that we're going to talk about programs and processes and all that stuff that day.
Yeah, and actually, we're gonna talk about, there is an actual website, Start with Supreme, and so I'm gonna go through that, which has the programs and different things on there, but I want to talk you through how it actually is, you can use it for like social media. So it's like a website that has like everything that we offer, but you can go in, it's personalized, right, co-branded, but you can share like specific things with
Okay.
a client. You can share it with social media and it's co-branded when you share it. So you're not sharing the whole website. It's overwhelming. It's a lot of information.
It is, yeah. I assume we're going to have questions on that 50-year mortgage and FHA and those Fannie Mae guidelines all next week for Supreme, so we'll be ready. That's it, guys. Good job. Lunch is in the hallway, in the other room, across the hallway like normal. So everybody enjoyed lunch? Okay.
It's in the icebox.
It's in the icebox. Okay, thank you, Ken Harper,
You're welcome.
ALC member.
You didn't break the furnace, don't worry.
I did not break the furnace, thank God. It's usually me.
Yeah.
Great team meeting.
Awesome job.
That's a great song.
I need to put you on the thing.
We need to know.
That's it.
Emily already next week or something. Am I gonna see you tonight? Are you gonna be at trivia? I'm like, yes, I am.
You gotta cash in your $50. Yeah.
Oh, we got 75.
Woo, there you
That's
go.
one. So yeah, I don't like to take my drink back.
That's right.
Oh, you were gonna have to pay anyway. I bet we're everybody. Yes. I love that. They should. They should. But they don't. Okay. Where do you get your? Yeah. 60 under. You should come. Love that. I said, all right. When I've been there 30. The other version of you does that. I go to that and she goes to trivia. I've been wanting to do it for so long and they're like, we have a few kids. I'm like, time? What's that? I love being single and having conversations. Live it up.
I love the cemetery though.
Yeah. So they have a retreat spots on the and the exchange. I actually I mean, yeah.
They do
I'm gonna actually look at it with you. I when I said this happened to my they had a pop up, and so I made friends. Got his contact information. Got his mom's contact. And then it didn't pop up.